is here. Miriam is here. Miriam was in our class last night channeling. Miriam, Mary, and another Mary. So it's Mary Magdalene, Mary, and then a Miriam. Now we know who Miriam is. Miriam is
Jesus' sister.
Jesus' sister. I had no idea.
Yeah.
One of my really amazing, she does family counseling, works with kids and stuff like that, and families. Donna, she's a really good healer. I did her session a couple weeks ago, and she had those 3 Marys in there, and we weren't quite sure exactly which Marys they were. She was, but now I know she's his sister. That's really cool to know. Miriam, because Miriam means Mary. Anyway, okay, so Miriam's here. Mary is here. Mary Magdalene is very sassy, and she's always kind of reprimanding
us.
Well,
throw a wrench in it, there's also a Mary who is Lazarus' sister. She's the one in the Bible that puts the perfumed oil into Jesus' hair that creates a big hubbub.
I just saw her washing feet or something like that, or bowed down.
Then that's Lazarus' sister Mary.
Well, no, when you said Lazarus' sister, I saw someone washing their feet, but that's not the 3 Marys that are here right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but Lazarus' sister Mary, I see her, she's almost like a nail lady or something. I see her as a nail lady, but maybe I saw her as a nail lady because she did something with Jesus' hair, and that's the way my brain read it.
Washed his feet with her hair.
Oh, she washed his feet with her hair?
Yes.
That's weird.
That's what she did. She used very expensive oil to do it.
Why would she wash someone's feet?
Pissed off Judas. Pissed Judas off so much they thought the whole thing was a clown show.
Well, I would be like, why are you washing that guy's feet with your hair? That's gross. But especially back then, you were walking around in dirt without shoes on. Well, I guess they had shoes on, but why wash with her hair? But I'm asking the.
We'll get into that.
Is there a reason?
When we get to that part of the story.
There's a reason though.
Yeah, there was a reason.
The hair with the feet. What I see is
because
hair.
Nobody was honoring Jesus at that time.
Oh.
And yet she spent her last money on a very expensive oil to wash Jesus' hair, his head, and his feet. And she brushed his feet with her hair. Yeah.
Well, what I'm seeing is hair, and then I'll get back to the question because it's very interesting with the Marys and Jesus and the Christ consciousness and Emmanuel and the I Am Presence. They're all separate beings, are all saying. And then Sananda has been here lately because the earth made a huge vibrational shift this morning at 4 or 5 a.m. Excuse me.
Hey, here.
They're like, so it made a huge vibrational shift in that. I don't know what exactly it meant, but it was 4 or 5 a.m. this morning. So they're saying that the planet's going to be extremely different, but it's going to shift so much we're not even going to notice. The inside of us is going to be completely different. So what is us and what is the earth is the same thing. So a little piece of us inside of us is earth, a layer of us is. And that's why we're affected by the earth and by what happens on the earth and by what happens with, and then another layer of us is what everybody combined together on the earth, as a collective consciousness is. And then another layer of us is our soul. Another layer of us is our spirit. Another layer of us is this cosmic consciousness. And another layer is Christ. Another layer is God. So we have all these different layers. But the earth's vibration or conscious level shifted so much from last week to this week that people aren't going to notice a difference unless you sit and stop and go, okay, show me what I feel like now. I'm me now. And then just feel what you feel like. And then say, I'm now me a week ago. Show me what that feels like. And you'll actually feel whoa, I was really contorted, or I felt really weird. Or in fact, try it right now. Say, I am now me. Show me what I feel like. And then just feel what you feel like. Kind of go into your heart, put your hand over your heart and just go down to your heart. And then just feel what you feel like. You can do the snow globe. You can say, I'm now a snow globe. Show me what I look like, or show me what I feel like. And then from there, just say, I am now me a week ago in relation to the earth's consciousness, and show me what I feel like. And you'll be like, whoa, I'm different. So it's the earth is shifted. People are going to be smarter, believe it or not. People are going to be smarter in the sense that they can handle stupid people a lot better. A lot of people that are smarter, I can't handle stupid people. But the conscious level is going up to where smart people aren't just smart, they're intelligent and they have wisdom. And wisdom brings us into the hair thing. Hair brings wisdom. Hair has wisdom in it. It's like a receipt coming out of our body of all the information that we've ever been, everything that we've done, everywhere we've been. That's why many cultures won't cut their hair. But or my dad won't cut his hair. I guess he wants to be wiser and wiser every day or something. Anyway, so so hair has like wisdom in it, and it has not wisdom, it has experience in it, has experience, and so they're saying like hair to the feet. Feet are the experience. Hair is the it's like feet bring in the experience, and then the hair is the result of the experience that you had in your body. It's like a receipt of everything that we've done. That's really interesting because you can test hair for pretty much everything, right? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Come here.
DNA.
Come here. Yep.
Just through your hair.
Yeah, just through your hair, you can know if someone has done like hallucinogenics and drugs and stuff too, right? Can't you read like LSD in people's hair for like 7 years?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. I think I remember learning that at some point. Anyway, so Jesus and the Marys and Sananda. So Sananda is now the new Christ energy that's been here. I just see him all the time now. And I asked why last night, and they said because the earth is shifted into cosmic. So we are ETs now, basically. Like you always talk about ETs. I don't necessarily believe in the ET thing that much as my dad does. I think that maybe there's beings out there, but I look at everybody as souls rather than like beings. So like if there are beings out there, like fine, but they're probably part of my soul or someone else's soul. So if we look at them all at a soul level, then it doesn't really matter who they are or what they are. And I don't think that they're smarter than us. I just think that everybody just kind of is. I think our souls are smarter than all of us. I think our higher selves are way smarter than everyone. And I'm sure there's beings out there and stuff out there, but I feel like they're all kind of like a part of us. And so Sananda is kind of like this, he comes in as like this ascended master looking guy, but he feels like he is Christ. But on a level a little bit lower than where Jesus is. So he's in like the, what is he, a soul level, spirit level, personality level? I don't know. He's a being that's been, he's a being that's been Christed. That's interesting. So he's just a being that's been Christed. He's not Christ. He says, I'm Christ if I've been Christed. Anyone who's been Christed is Christ. He says, I'm just of this soul group. I'm in charge of this planet. I'm in charge of this reality, this world. He says, and yes, there are beings on other worlds. There are beings on other planets. Those are real. He says it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be part of your reality or part of your fears or part of your excitement. Many people choose to believe in something outside of this world, outside of this place, because they're bored of this place. If they're bored of this place, it feels good to believe in something outside, something that's unknown. The unknown is the exciting. It's exciting to have the unknown. When everything becomes known and it's just your everyday life, sometimes you have to believe in something outside of what you see every single day. It makes life just a little bit more exciting. And understanding and knowing that we can communicate and we can collectively pull from beings that are not on this planet and get information from them and learn from them is something that human beings should be focusing on rather than trying to spot them in the sky. They should say, if there's any beings that are outside of this reality, that are outside of this world, that exist, that have any sort of wisdom or knowledge that they can give to me, I ask that my soul gather that and deliver it to me now. That's something that everyone can take advantage of, because beings that know more than you, there's going to be beings that know more than you and beings that know less. The beings that know less are learning from you. They're watching through you. They're learning from all your silly mistakes. All the things that when you trip and fall on your face, they're going to learn, I better not do that. I don't want to trip and fall on my face. So they're learning from you, just like you can learn from other beings. All these lower dimensional beings don't necessarily know you exist, just like you don't know they exist, and just like you don't know these higher dimensional beings exist, and they don't know you exist. But these higher dimensional beings, it does not make them smarter, it just makes them more full of experiences. Just like a 7th grader has more experiences than a 5th grader. It doesn't make the 7th grader better, it just makes them, having had experienced something longer and mastered it. So understand and know, if you don't master it, you get held back a grade. So you don't make it to 7th grade until you actually mastered the ability to make it into 7th grade and pass it. So healing from the Christ consciousness, will loop back around to this. Is Miriam. Miriam says, what everyone must do, what everyone must see is that when you can see and love and communicate and know that the people in your life are people that you love, this is something that you must appreciate. This is the most healing thing that can be brought to each individual in this lifetime. Knowing that people love you. Knowing that people love you. This is the most fulfilling thing that a human being can experience. when we do not feel loved, when we feel rejected, when we feel like we're a burden, when we feel like any of these things other than love, this is when we lack the ability to fully and completely experience life in the way that we have designed it. Now, we always talk about the way that we've designed life. We know that you don't remember designing your life. You shouldn't remember designing your life. And we shouldn't expect you to, this is Jesus talking, we shouldn't expect you to remember designing your life. But knowing that someone designed it, knowing that somebody carefully designed your life, should be reassuring, should be bringing to you a knowledge or a knowing that we have you in the palm of our hand. We are supporting you. We are making sure that you are staying on the road that you chose to travel down. We have you. You cannot fall if you trust that we have you here. So know and understand that there's many of you right now that are going, oh, I don't know what I believe, and I don't know what to believe, and who's these beings, and what are these levels, and what is all this? I don't understand. You don't need to understand. You need to understand is something that the ego needs to do. Many of you have an ego that is relentless, that will not let you believe in God, that will not let you just trust. So we must deliver you all this information so you can go, that's quite thought-provoking. Because I don't understand it, I must believe it. It must be true. Instead of someone just saying, you must believe this, but you must hear a bunch of confusing things that contradict each other so that you can go, that's confusing enough to believe. I'll go ahead and believe it. And then your life begins to get better. And this is how human beings work. You're skeptical about skepticism, but then you are believingly believable about believing, and the contradiction of the mind of a human being is quite intriguing. And this is why I chose to live on this planet, because of the duality. It's Satan against God. Satan against God. Satan against God. Every single day, every single second, looking at each other. It looks like they're like with their foreheads up against each other, they're looking at each other in the eye going, no, I'm right. 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 One of them believes that you should have eternal, unconditionally loving energy within you, that you only have to live once and then you move forward. The other believes that you can live here and you can live as long as you want in the same spirit, the same body, and just keep coming back over and over and over and over and over and do whatever you want and not go with the will of that which is your spirit. And you can choose and create your own reality, and that's Satan. God is, you follow a path, you follow the light, you follow the guidance of that which created you prior to entering into this world. Satan says, nope, you created a life, go ahead and go and do whatever you want and be whatever you want and say whatever you want and do whatever you want, and when you die, just come back and do it all over again. And that's keeping the energy that you have contained in this reality, in this world. Now, the shift that happened this morning is a shift that is going to eradicate Satan from the planet. What's eradicate mean?
Wipe out.
Okay. It's going to eradicate Satan from the planet. Satan can still exist outside the planet, but Satan cannot exist inside the planet. Cannot exist here anymore because the frequencies have shifted into the non-duality. Now, Satan is not the Antichrist. Satan is not necessarily Satan is a space. God is a space. There are spaces where you can create in. So if you go into a space where there's graffiti on the walls and heavy metal music playing, you're going to create something that goes along the line with that. If you go into classical music playing all white walls, roses, beautiful things, then you're going to create like that. You're not going to go and spray paint the walls in the nice white hall that's there. You're going to fall into resonance with it and you're going to create as such. So these are two spaces that can be created, and they're both in the astral plane. They're both readily available to you. They're both sitting there waiting for your spirit to create in. So when you go into fear, you fall into the Satan room, and that's where you create from. And you create marvelous things from there. They don't have their own energy though. They have the energy from you. So you must continue to feed those things for them to continue to exist. They don't have a God source. If you're over in the God energy, in that God space, and you create, say, a job or a company or a relationship or something in this space, it's going to be fed by the eternal energy of God. And God will continue to feed this creation that you have, and it will build momentum. Hey. Get over here. Come here. I know. Grab Lucky if you can.
You're
Like wrestling. Okay. that it will continue to build up momentum like a snowball. The snowball begins to build up its momentum, and it just goes and goes and goes and builds up more and more and more and more and more snow. But at the bottom, it's going to melt. That's Satan. Over here, we've got the creations that are just continually getting fueled and fed by God. This is why many beings that are created in love, children created in love, are beings that are pumped full of life force energy continually over and over and over. Those that are not created out of love, it's a little bit harder for them to continue to keep their momentum if they stay in that space. But most kids, by the age 3, will shift from that space over into their own God space where they can create from. Everybody's given a fair opportunity to create their creations, including themselves, from the God space. And the God space, let's just call that they're calling that the creation room. That's like in my book, the creation room. Well, where's that Satan space? They said, we'll call it the astral plane. Oh, interesting. So the astral plane is like Satan's playground. And then the creation room within our own mind up in the pineal gland by between the center of our head and the occiput, that's the space to create with God. So Christ is the one that will lead you from that space over there in Satan's world over to the God world. And you can only get to this creation room or the God world through Christ. And that's what they're talking about, getting to the Father through Christ. Interesting. So it must be forgiveness, compassion, strength, hope. Okay, so what they're saying is that, and they're almost done. My mouth is so dry. Can you throw me that, the Gatorade is right there on the ground? Perfect. Man, my mouth is so dry all of a sudden.
It's dry. My throat gets dry. I have to keep clearing my throat.
So they're saying, if you create anything out of vengeance, revenge, jealousy, you may feel that feeling of like, oh yeah, I'm on a moment. I have got my momentum going. I've got this. I've created this, and I've created this, and I've told this person this, and I've told this person that, and I'm really, really, really getting somewhere, and you just feel like you're in this momentum. This you're moving, you're shaking, you're doing all this stuff, but it's due to like a resentful, like jealous, like frustrated energy. Oh, sorry, I didn't eat that. Thank you. And that energy that you have inside of you, that's the Christ energy that you have inside of you, the creation energy that you have inside of you. You can be creating over there in that room in the astral plane, or you can be creating over where it's going to continue to exist and it's going to continue to go. And that's when you create through love. So they're saying when you want to create, when you want to build something, when you want to make like a new company, you want to make a new relationship, you want to make a baby, you want to make anything, make sure that you are in Christ, in your heart, you are present in presence, that you are your I am, and ask, do I really want this? So do I really want to get my ex-husband fired from his job? What will that really look like? Well, I guess I'll stop getting my alimony. I won't get any child support. He won't have a job. He'll be really depressed, and that'll make me really happy because he's depressed because he cheated on me with this woman. I'm going to get her fired. So you're feeling this creation. You can create from the Christ center within you, and you can create destruction with it. But if you get into your heart and you actually ask, is this something that I want to create in God's playground or in Satan's playground? Because both are equally as powerful and strong because they're made with the same energy. It's just one will continue to exist, one will roll down to the end of the hill, and then it'll melt. So understand that if you are doing anything in your life right now, ask, am I in the creation room or am I in the astral plane? Am I creating something that's just temporary, that's going to melt? Or am I creating something with a strong foundation that's going to last forever and ever? This is very, very, very important for many of you that are going through health struggles. When you're trying to manifest health, make sure that you're not doing it out of fear. Make sure that you're not doing it out of this adrenaline rush of, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Get into a space where you can create. Get into the creation room. Get into your I am. Get into this space where Christ can create in God's playground. Remembering that God is a space. Satan is a space. And just as we said, Satan is being eradicated from this planet. So it's going to be much harder to create from that space because it's not going to be readily available for the consciousnesses that are here on this planet to go into. The astral plane disappeared from January 20 to March 2018. Oh, they're doing it backwards. January 20 to March 2018. From March 2018 to January 20, there was no astral plane here. There was the upper levels of the astral plane and the very, very lower levels of the astral plane. But there was no ghosts, no earthbound spirits. There was no energies that were trapped in the in-between that the earth could, they were still there, but the earth could not access them. We're back in the space where we cannot access those realms as easily. Those that have earthbound spirits, those earthbound spirits will have a hard time pulling from you. You may have felt very, very tired today and over the past 2 weeks, very, very drained because those spirits were trying to drain you of all the energy they could while they could still access you. So this is good news for those that think they're mentally ill because they hear voices. Those voices may go away. For those that are mentally ill and those voices go away, don't think that you can't get off your medication. We're not saying get off your medication, but don't think that you need to be on it your entire life because you may have just been hearing spirits. You may have just been hearing ghosts. Understand that many of the mental diseases on this planet at this time are mental diseases that don't exist. They are just astral plane entities messing with people's heads, messing with their eyes. You can see things and you don't realize that those are actual abilities that you have. You think that they're illnesses. So know and understand that this is a good refocusing time, a time where you can cleanse yourself, cleanse your liver, cleanse the spleen, cleanse the organs. Do a diet where you just drink water for a day or two and just cleanse yourself of the things that are negative in your life, the negative thoughts, the negative emotions, the negative feelings, and understand and know that you only need a 2-day cleanse they said with the water if you want to do that. But understand that when you do that, when you're drinking the water, make sure that you say, I am in God's space, creating in God's space. And just think of how nourishing the water is, how clean the water is, how pure the water is. Don't think, oh, this water may be dirty. It's not RO or it's not filtered or it's not this. Because then you're thinking thoughts into the water and you're drinking it into your body and you're making your body negative. So when you drink this water, drink and think positive thoughts. This is refreshing. This is beautiful. This is God's water for me. And I came here to this planet for this water and for the oxygen because those are two of the things that you came to the planet for, Peter just said. But understand that we want everybody to take this next day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days to really cleanse out the old astral garbage that was in your field, which is my whole reason for entering into the planet was to raise people up above the astral plane. The astral plane still exists and I'll still exist there, pulling people out of it, pulling my brothers and sisters out of it, pulling souls from it that are trapped in it. But you, my friends, have made it to the other side. You, my friends, have made it above the astral plane. Not only those that are suicidal, very, very depressed, very, very angry, very, very set in their ways, very, very closed-minded, will be able to access the astral plane. And you don't want to be accessing the levels of the astral plane that they'll be accessing. This will cause some people to go completely insane. You'll see more, unfortunately, shootings and things of this sort where people just go crazy because they're people that are tuned into those very, 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 very low levels of the astral plane. The thing that can remedy this is music, high vibrational music, played throughout the world so that people don't get an opportunity to get so sad, so depressed, so angry, so vengeful. Take the people that you know in your life that are angry, that are upset, that are very, very vengeful and just mean, mad people. Try and play some music around them. Play music around them and just see if their spirits are lifted. Just see if you can raise them up just a little bit. Because just a little bit each day can bring a complete change to their lives. Because those that are so angry, so mad, so upset, so against God, against creating in that space, will not have a space to create, so they'll die. They'll just won't have anywhere to create. If you don't have anywhere to create, if you can't go into God and create there with your Christ consciousness, creator self, you can't go into this area and create. You can just go there and be mad. Then the two choices, which one do you choose? If you want to be in God's space, imagine a bubble with a heart in it, and then just say, I am in the center of God's heart now. I am in the center of God's heart now. And imagine going into that heart, inside of that bubble. Say, I am God's heart. Please show me what it feels like. And then just feel whatever you feel. And then say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Christ be with you. We bless you.
Is that it for the day?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
They just left. They leave and then they just go. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that was it.
They brought a lesson in for today.
Was that enough? Listen, let me see. Oh, that was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think they left for quite a while.
Well, it was like 40 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, about 35.
Yeah, that was longer than usual.
So.
Yeah. There you go.
Just about right. Are these my
This girl's
headphones?
such a little black blob. You can't. Oh, those are my headphones. You can't even see her eyes because she's so that everything's just black. She has like
Who is it?
Or not Bella. The poodle.
Oh, the dog. The dog.
Yeah. Her beady little black eyes. You can't even see her eyes on the
Better put
camera.
that somewhere where the
Yeah.
dogs won't eat it up.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, folks. Joe Morris with Answers Heaven Speaks. Here's your
You-
water. And